As part of my MA, I attended a lecture that was focused on pregnancy portraiture. And one particular portrait struck me. It was Catherine of Austria, painted by Anthony Moore in 1552 to 53. And this was of particular interest to me, so I went home and did some research on it. And I realised after a while that the scholars had made a mistake, and that the artist who painted from life, so the very realistic depictions, was painting her 10 or 15 years after she'd had her final pregnancy. There was no way this woman was pregnant. I decided to write my dissertation on this portrait, and York, with its easy links to Europe, I managed to go and see the portrait in person in Madrid at the Prado Museum, which is in Spain. Seeing the portrait in situ, I walked in and saw that all the collection were shown together, but Catherine of Austria was the only one wearing a Habsburg belt. The belt positioned over her womb could be very easily interpreted as a sign of pregnancy, and why scholars have made mistakes in the past. However, I think it was more of an assertion of loyalty to her Habsburg relatives elsewhere in Europe.
So when I started my MA, I went back to my BA dissertation, and a work that I was quite proud of when I wrote it. And when I got it back, I actually reread and was kind of embarrassed by it, because it was something that I used theory in, but now I think I could use it a lot better, and the writing style could also be improved.
MA seminars are smaller than BA seminars, and the intellectual environment allows you to debate big issues quite quickly. Your supervisors, who are experts in their field, recognise when you have original thoughts and encourage you when they think it's something worth pursuing.
A work of art needs to be understood firstly within the social, political and economic context in which it was created. Objects also need to be understood within the changing context of their reception as they're extracted by successive generations of viewers, including art historians. By drawing on related disciplines such as archaeology, history and literature, we can put pressure on the work of art historians over time, but also bring new ideas to contemporary scholarship. That's why we encourage our students to take modules offered by our various research centres, the Centre for Medieval Studies, Renaissance and Early Modern Studies, 18th Century Studies and the Centre for Modern Studies.
Studying art history at MA level is good because you can do elective modules in other departments. And for someone like me, that's relevant because I am interested in the Bloomsbury group, who are very interdisciplinary when you study them. And so I could do an English Lit module in modernism, study Virginia Woolf, or I can do a sociology module, which just shows how much the department expects you to read outside of art history as well.
My PhD is about architects Ian Pei. I started this interest during my second term of my master's, which was actually inspired by a Bauhaus module I took in my first term. I took the Bauhaus module with Michael White, who is now my PhD supervisor. I found it's really easy to collaborate with Michael. Michael is very supportive and professional. And currently, besides my PhD, we are also co-authoring a paper on the Bauhaus legacy in China. And we are thinking of organizing a Bauhaus symposium in a global context as well.
As part of the course, we get out of the classroom and go on group visits to archives and to encounter artwork in galleries and in private collections.
York has great connections to other cities in the country that you would want to view art in. So London's quite nearby, and for me that's good because it's a good base for British art and Bloomsbury art in particular. So there's the Courtauld, there's the Tate Archives, and also the National Portrait Gallery, which just over the summer had a Virginia Woolf exhibition which held work by Vanessa Bell, who's the artist that I'm interested in. And her house is still intact, it's in East Sussex, and I can visit that.
My early academic career now all came from exploring all my interests and being inspired by all the tutors, the course mates during my master's.
At the end of my BA, I was worried that my passion for art history would never lead to a job. However, the MA year really professionalised my skills, and now I've begun a career as an art historian.